Hey, it's Patrick Grosser with the 513 Flat Fee Real Estate Group at Fathom Realty. You may have heard about our full-service flat fee listings through a postcard in your mailbox recently. We'll talk more about those in just a second, but first we'll look at the Cincinnati real estate market news for the first couple weeks of 2024 and compare those numbers to the first 2 weeks of 2023. First of all, new listings are up 5%, closings are down 23%, median sale price is up 7%, median days on market is at 12 days. Total inventory right now is at 76 days, while active inventory is at 41 days. It is still a seller's market, but not as hot as it was last spring. So if you want to net the most money when you sell your home, you need a more sophisticated marketing approach, but you don't have to pay a 6% commission to get that because it comes standard with our full service flat fee listings. Visit our site at 513flatfee.com to learn more about our service and to find out how you can net the most money when you sell your home. According to Freddie Mac, the average mortgage interest rate for a 30-year loan right now is 6.66%. You might notice if you watched last week's video, that's actually the same number. Those numbers are as of January 11th. So in the next video next week, I'll update you when those numbers are updated as well. As I've discussed before, if interest rates, as predicted by many economists, go down this year, some people predict the low sixes, some say even as low as the high 5% range, again on a 30-year fixed rate loan. If that happens, we expect that more buyers are going to come to market. Some of those are going to be existing homeowners who are trading up or down and also selling a home. So they'll buy a home, sell a home, so they won't be adding or subtracting from inventory. But we also expect renters who don't currently own a home to enter the market, buy their first home, and so they're going to be taking a home off the market, subtracting from the existing inventory. And there's no indicators that we have that new construction is going to be able to outpace that increase in demand. So we expect that inventory at the very best will remain about the same as it is right now, or may actually go down more likely, again, if interest rates continue to decline, as many economists predict. If interest rates go up, the opposite's going to happen. What that means for sellers on the flip side of the transaction is that if interest rates do go down, they're going to see more showings and more offers. More often, they're going to be in a multiple offer situation where they have to properly leverage the interest from multiple buyers to get the best price and terms. So although that can be exciting for sellers, it can also be overwhelming in certain situations if there's multiple offers and the sellers don't really know what to do or how to properly leverage that. So that's something you definitely want a professional's opinion on, perhaps professional help navigating you through the transaction of selling your home, again, to net the most money that you possibly can. You may have noticed that the inventory numbers are a little bit higher than they have been in recent weeks. I reviewed the numbers from this time last year and they're actually higher than that as well. So we are seeing more inventory right now in the market, which means buyers have more choice. They have more leverage in negotiations than they did in recent weeks and compared to this time last year. Sellers, on the other hand, are having a little bit of a harder time, less leverage in negotiations. They're seeing fewer showings. They're seeing a longer time on the market compared to what they were when the market was a little bit hotter in recent weeks, and certainly compared to last spring and summer, or even compared to the winter last year. So I think the theory behind that makes the most sense right now is that buyers who may be ready to buy a house very soon are waiting on the sidelines in anticipation that these predictions from economists come true, that interest rates will be lower later this year. They're also not seeing a ton of inventory. They also don't want to go out in the cold weather right now. So unless they have a really strong need or desire to buy a home right now, to make a move right now, in other words, unless they absolutely have to make a move, they're probably not inspired to do that. They're seeing that the weather's going to be nicer later, there's going to be more houses on the market later, and interest rates are going to be lower. So they're thinking all of those things are good for them, which is true. The only downside to that, to waiting for buyers, is that if interest rates go down, we're going to see more buyers come into the market in response to that. We expect more competition among buyers, which means although there may be more inventory coming to market, like there is every spring in that rush, there's more buyers that are coming to market than there are listings to choose from. So we typically see it much more difficult for buyers to get under contract on the home they want. They have to typically bid over list price in many cases, depending on how that home is marketed and priced. So buyers have a harder time actually getting the home that they want, even though they have lower interest rates and they have more listings to choose from. again, they're competing with more buyers. So I don't recommend trying to time the market. If you have a need or a strong desire to make a move, I think it makes the most sense to consider what's going on in the market, but to navigate the interest rates and the dynamic, the leverage between buyers and sellers, and understand that fully before you jump into it, but just navigate that as best you can given the circumstances. And if you have an opportunity and it makes sense later to refinance to a lower interest rate, then go ahead and do that later. But I recommend focusing on the primary goal, which is to get the home that you want. Obviously, you want to get the best deal you can on the home in terms of the price and the interest rate. But I think the most important thing, if you really zoom out and think about it, is where do I want to live? Can I get that type of home? Because you're going to be spending every day in that home for many years potentially. And I don't think you'll have buyer's remorse if you love your home compared to the remorse you'll have if you waited and you maybe missed out on some opportunities to get the home of your dreams under contract, because now you're competing with many more buyers because interest rates are lower. Yes, you're maybe saving a little bit on interest, but you're probably paying more for the house than you would have when interest rates were higher, and you may not be able to even buy the house you want because it's so competitive if interest rates, depending on how low they go. So that's my 2 cents on it. I don't recommend timing the market. I recommend making a move when it makes sense for you and just deal with the interest rates as they are. And again, refinance later if that makes financial sense for you. If you have any questions about how to navigate the Cincinnati real estate market right now, feel free to reach out to us. The best way to get in touch with me or a member of my team is to visit our website at 513flatfee.com. Click one of the links there to schedule a call so we can set aside some time dedicated to assessing your real estate needs and to map out a game plan for how we can help you to achieve your real estate goals. I'm Patrick Grosser with the 513 Flat Fee Real Estate Group at Fathom Realty.